que tenemos ya ese proyecto es precisamente por el acceso que se ha dado por
I was born and lived almost all my life in Mexico City. The city has changed a lot since I was young. We were victims of demography of the 20th century boom, demographic boom. Since young, there was construction all around the city, and I was interested in construction. The interesting thing was that the process of construction is slow and monotonous somehow, until you bring the first set of plans. In that moment, the process completely changes. Plans can immediately transform architecture. For instance, if you imagine this terrace, this rooftop, without plans, it will be completely different. When you have this green here, you bring that green into it. If you don't have green here, this roof will connect with the other buildings. Oh, there is an attraction between plants, between green, and attraction between structures and structures. So this thing in between gives a completely different perception of architecture and space. How it changes along the year, how it grows by itself. Many of these guys, this one for instance, are spontaneous. We didn't plant them. Some of them are planted by us, but some others are just spontaneous. They feel at home. The library has been a very interesting phenomena. It has thousands of users every day. The library is not only used as a library, but it became a place to be. There is hundreds of thousands of people that they live in very small homes. So the library is an extension of the house, like a place to enjoy, to pass the afternoon. So you find young people dancing or acting, or elderly people sleeping on the couches or sleeping in the garden. So it's like an extension of their homes. A long time ago, we did a very popular place in Iztapalapa, in the periphery of the city. It was a very dangerous area, no parks, no infrastructure around. So a friend of mine, Eduardo Vázquez, he had this vision that culture has to go to those places. That for sure is something that has to be done with much more energy. So with very few money, we did a workshop places that is called Faro de Oriente, where everybody can enter there to take classes or learn how to use machinery, tools, paint, sculpture. I think it's a fantastic place. The urban plans have to be revised, constantly revised, and architects have to get involved with the urban plans. Of course, it's more exciting to design a building because an urban plan is something that will happen a long time with not a direct result, but it's very important. For instance, in the whole country of Mexico, probably not even 5% of the urban areas have plans. So it's very urgent to do those plans. And in that way, architects can reshape the city. Where are areas susceptible to be urbanized? Which other areas have to stay in a natural way, or which other areas can be devoted for agriculture? I think the planning of the territory is a task of architects as well. The most important tool in order to change a city, and a city like Mexico, I think, is with vegetation, with trees. An intensive program of planting trees in the city, the right trees for the right places, not any tree. That will change not only our perception of the city, but will change even the climate of the city, the air conditions. For sure we will breathe a better air, we will be in a more temperate climate. That's for sure the first and strong movement that has to be done in Mexico City and in many other cities. There is not a frontier between architecture and urbanism. Try to understand it as exactly the same. You know, you order this way of ordering where we live. In such a way, there is no limit between architecture and gardening, or what some people call it landscaping. Landscape is everything, no? The mountains. We don't do landscape. We transform the landscape. We do gardens, which is more moderate, and it's an essential part of architecture. That will be something to put it on the table.
Δεχόμενος που να πατάς κάτω να σκέφτεται από για σε περίπτωση που δεν μπορεί να χρησιμοποιήσει αυτόν τον κόσμο.